G'day there guys, Markee here, and welcome back to another episode of r/relationship advice. I do hope you enjoy today's bloody good stories. I think they're going to be pretty good. If you haven't already, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, sit back, relax, chuck a prawn to the barbie, I know it's a lot, and enjoy. Let's go. Posted by user Azul Saw, titled, Am I the asshole for telling my 28 male, girlfriend 25 female that she went too far in messing with her sister? My girlfriend is low contact with her parents and older sister. She has a difficult relationship with them. She felt bullied by her sister Cora, 31 female, growing up. Her mother was frequently ill and depressed, and her father traveled for work for months at a time. They were kinda poor, so Cora did multiple jobs since her teens and was controlling and domineering with her siblings about chores and schoolwork. My girlfriend has a lot of resentment about her unpleasant childhood and is pushed back by sabotaging things for Cora in silly and petty ways. Cora got married to her boyfriend of 3 years about 6 months ago. My girlfriend flew over to attend, but did act bratty to mess with Cora. It was mostly minor stuff like not confirming travel plans till last minute, so Cora was forced to pay more for plane tickets, changing her mind about her dress frequently so that Cora had to buy and return outfits multiple times. There were a few other things too, like messing with some organized plans and refusing to do things that she committed to. I don't really like it or understand it, but she feels it's important for such payback to bring a balance to her relationship with her sister. Where I feel that she went too far is that the night before the wedding, she had a long talk with the groom about how difficult and short-tempered that Cora can be. He has a kid, 6 male, from his previous marriage, and she knew they were planning on having more kids right after they got married. She told him that Cora hates little children and will bully them. The newlyweds ended up having a lot of fights over their honeymoon because the groom wanted to postpone having kids and change how much involvement Cora would have with her stepkid. Cora found out recently that the conflicts are because her sister had this talk with her husband and she's been blowing up at my girlfriend. She feels upset at my girlfriend's interference because she wanted to have kids soon, and my girlfriend feels justified because she is convinced Cora would be an awful mother. I told her that it wasn't right for her to meddle in her sister's marriage just to mess with her, but she feels that nothing she said is untrue, so she was morally right to do so. We have been having arguments about this, and my girlfriend is now mad at me. Edit to add, I've been asked this multiple times. So, Cora is the oldest. Their parents had separated after she was born, and then got back together a few years later, and had 3 more kids, one after the other. My girlfriend is the second oldest. The youngest 2 are close to both my girlfriend and Cora, and ignore the conflict between the 2. Cora did different short-term jobs for extra money before she got her full-time job. She didn't do 2+ jobs at the same time. In the comments, Cats Kill Kid says, Not the asshole. Based on this and your girlfriend being mad, you better run. In your post, you say girlfriend is mad because growing up, their mother was ill and depressed, and the father was not around due to work, leaving them in a poor condition, requiring Cora as a teen to have to work multiple jobs helping with the home, and got on your girlfriend about chores and schoolwork. So by being forced to parent her siblings as a teen, and being tough about homework and chores, girlfriend feels justified in sabotaging her sister. It sounds more ungrateful than anything. Your girlfriend needs serious anger management and general therapy. None of this is healthy or acceptable. She says she just spoke the truth to her new brother-in-law, but when you go in with an agenda, there is a lot left out. Your girlfriend will not change unless she gets therapy, and she does not seem to think that she has a problem. So it's likely that she won't seek the help, and you need to think about yourself with this woman. Good luck. So, basically, Cora treated her little sister like a daughter, insisted she do her homework, helped around the house, and not get into trouble while working multiple jobs and taking care of their sick, depressed mum, and your girlfriend thinks that this was bullying? What the hell? Your girlfriend is nothing but a spoiled little brat who needs to grow up and get down on her knees to thank Cora for sacrificing her childhood to raise and care for her instead of abandoning her to sink or swim on her own. Exactly. Cora sounds like a saint to put up with all of your girlfriend's BS. This is how she treats family. Run while you can. Not the asshole, dude. You need to run. These kinds of games at that age are such a red flag. What happens when she feels morally justified to get back at you? What if she feels slighted by your own mother or other close family? Any future children that you might want? This is cruelty and pettiness on a narcissistic level, and she needs help. Professional help. I was raised by a pretty abusive family as well, but that's no excuse. It doesn't make her even. It's just being toxic because that's all she knows, and using justice as her excuse. She's going to accuse him of something terrible like abuse or assault when he leaves her. This dude is in trouble. Yeah, I think I'm on board with everyone else here on this one, OP. I was honestly wondering where this was all coming from and if she was lying or not, because in the case that she was a terrible person to young children, maybe there was a case for it, but your girlfriend is misrepresenting the situation as a whole. She effectively ruined what should have been an amazing and relaxing honeymoon for her own gain. Instead of recognizing what she's done and being the bigger person, apologizing and trying to make things right, she's doing the classic narcissist thing that we see all too often on here. She's playing the victim. She says she feels that nothing she said is untrue. She's morally right to do so. I feel like there's a lot of emotional manipulation going on here, lots of lies directly to your face. I wouldn't be surprised if she's corralling all the goddamn monkeys in her family to have them fly at you and everyone else in her defense. You stepped in to try and ease tensions to make her do the right thing, and now you guys are arguing, and now she's mad at you. Is this someone that you can realistically see a future with? Because if they don't correct course now, I don't think they're ever going to correct course in the future. Like, no, you're not the asshole for telling her that she went too far with messing with her sister, but now I think it's time for you to step up for yourself, mate. And now, on to the updates. So my girlfriend, Sia, and I had a lot of arguments about her behavior. She got angry and broke up with me. I am still stuck with her for a bit because we share an apartment with 2 other roommates and my lease ends in a few weeks. Sia and her siblings have been arguing a lot about this, and here's what I gathered from what I've been told and from overhearing the daily drama. Sia has been doing this since they were little kids. Whenever she feels Cora is being too bossy and demanding, she'll sabotage her by messing up things. Cora has no idea. She thinks that Sia is clumsy or forgetful and just works harder to fix things. She doesn't realize that Sia does it on purpose. Their younger siblings know, but just ignore it. Sia has talked about Cora behind her back a few times in the past, that she has anger problems and is mean. According to Sia, everyone knows that she's short-tempered and yells a lot, but people like her because she helps them and is a fixer. I heard Cora tell her that she knows Sia talks about her like this and has accepted that, but still didn't think that she'd do it at her wedding. What Cora is really shocked about, though, is that Sia called her a bad mother and that she hates kids. Cora sees herself as a good mother figure and did not see this coming from her sister. All the siblings rely on Cora as the parental figure instead of their actual parents. So Cora has helped her siblings with school, college, and just about every facet of learning to adult things. Her siblings still call her first for help with anything. Even Sia does that. A couple of months ago, she totaled her car and panicked and called Cora first. Cora then walked her through everything and helped her deal with insurance. Sia is still adamant that she did the right thing. When she talked to her brother-in-law, he was surprised to hear that Cora was short-tempered or that she yells. He hadn't seen that side of her. Sia thinks that her telling him that means now he won't be shocked when he sees the real her and they'll be in a stronger marriage. Cora and her husband have since fixed their issues and are doing well together again. Sia feels like her actions have actually helped Cora, and so she has nothing to complain about. I think it's more likely that brother-in-law witnessed these siblings' arguments and realized how things are. Cora hosts Thanksgiving for the entire family and also organizes a family vacation every year. In her arguments, she angrily told Sia not to come to these events this year. She doesn't want her there. Sia complained to their mum, and mum berated Cora for trying to break the family. Cora blew up and is not going to do Thanksgiving at all. That offended a lot of people, and everyone is giving her a hard time for overreacting. Sia is sure that she'll get over it and host again. I'll be moving out soon and probably won't have any more insights into this family drama. In the comments, Unlucky You says, "You dodged a bullet with this one. Sia is a stone-cold biatch. I can't wait until her next emergency when she realizes that Cora won't be there to fix shit for her. I'm hoping that Cora does break up this psychotic family. I think the younger siblings are assholes too. Neither of them can stand up for Cora, even though they all take advantage of her. The parents have always been assholes. I hope that Cora goes scorched earth on all of them." What's sad is how little she appreciates the one person in her life that is her rock and is there for her. Sia lacks so much self-awareness that she doesn't see that she is treating her parentified sister that is there for her poorly, but still expects so much of her. Cora absolutely should create some distance and do less for them. She deserves to be her own individual and have her own space and not be forced to be their rock anymore, because they're old enough and should know better and shouldn't be doing that to her. But especially your selfish ex. You will absolutely be much better off. Kudos for dodging that bullet. Damn, I feel so sorry for Cora. She clearly had a very shitty childhood, and one of the younger siblings she raised is now being petty and spiteful while still relying on her. Right? Poor parentified Cora, who got the short end of the stick in every way. And I mean, it is understandable that, as a child, Sia might have resented Cora's authority and blamed her a lot for the family problems, simply because she didn't know any better and didn't realize that Cora was absolutely a victim herself. Younger sibling resenting the parentified sibling is a pretty common story after all, and understandable when they are children and don't know better. But as an effing adult, at the absolute latest, that's when she should have done some reflecting on their family dynamic and recognized that her resentment and anger were utterly misdirected and that Cora did not deserve any of Sia's bullshit. And the way that she expresses her anger, it's not just childish. It forces Cora to step in and fix things, once again putting her in a position of authority. And Sia will promptly resent that authority, leading her to F things up, forcing Cora to step in and fix things. I just hope Cora has the support that she needs, and I wish those younger sibs had her back, instead of letting Sia get away with her shitty behavior. The best part of this story is knowing that he'll be out of there and there won't be any more information. Whatever he said about not providing enough info about her personality is on him. She sounds like she could pay for her therapist's kids way through college. It really is the best possible solution for him. Very similar vibes to, this grainy footage at distance is all we have of this nuclear blast, because the cameraman wisely looked at it and went, F all that, and duly left, because he didn't want to die. And it's why he now survives to come get this award for documentary cinematography. We are all proud of him for that. And you know what? I'm proud of you too for walking away from that shit show, OP, because that was outlandish, nightmarish, just not gonna get better at all. I think that first comment by Unlucky You was right on the money, that this is a psychotic family. They are all using Cora, and Cora, I think she does realize that everyone is using her, but she's not leaving. This is genuinely a case where I don't blame Cora if she goes very low contact or no contact with her family for a significant amount of time until they realize what they're doing wrong and hopefully change their ways and mature. This all could have been prevented if the parents had actually done their job properly and been parents instead of dropping the kids and being like, you know what? You guys are latchkey kids now. Look out for yourselves. I'm off to the pub. Don't call me if you need me because I'm not going to be there. Like, don't get me wrong. Sia is definitely the problem here, but she didn't start the fire. It was always burning. Parents definitely could step in at any moment and change the dynamic and do the right thing. They could have also stepped up a long time ago, but they didn't. And they won't. And they refuse to. And they suck. All I can end this with is congratulations for walking away from this mess, because it's the best thing you can do for yourself. And you're still not the asshole. Our next post is by user Throwaway202304, titled, Am I the asshole for telling my fiancé to drop his best friend? My fiancé, Mexican 24, and I, Black 21, have been together for almost 2 years now. We've known each other since I was a freshman in high school and reconnected back in 2020. He had this best friend who we will call B, 23 Mexican, since he was a freshman in high school. My fiancé thinks of B as family because of how much stuff they went through together. Fast forward to my fiancé and I first dating. He told his friends not to use the N-word around me as it's disrespectful, right? Well, my fiancé introduced me to all his friends, B included, and B used the N-word profusely in front of me, knowing how I don't tolerate that. My fiancé, at the time, laughed and said, I already warned him, shrug. So that being my first impression of him, I already didn't like him. Fast forward to a few weeks ago, my fiancé was showing me something in his group chat with all of his friends. I see a text from Billy that says, Go hang out with your cotton-picking wife while you eat rocks. I obviously confronted my fiancé about this, and he got pretty defensive about it. He said he was sorry that Billy said that about me, but tried to basically back Billy up, saying things like, he always says stupid stuff, he doesn't mean it, it's just how we joke around, he doesn't know that's wrong to say. Mind you, Billy's a grown-ass man. Then my fiancé tried to defend it again by saying, he's been my brother since high school when no one else wanted to be my friend. Stuff like that. I explained to him that if my family or friends ever said something racist towards him, I'm dropping them without hesitation. He said he understood, but that he's known Billy longer than he's known me. My fiancé said he would drop Billy as a friend, but the only problem is they all play together on a game called FIFA, and if my fiancé were to stop talking to Billy, then all his other friends might drop him. Basically, my fiancé won't drop him because he's scared of losing friends. I genuinely don't know what to do in this situation. In the comments, in a response to a now deleted comment, OP says, I will tell you this. My fiancé admitted that in the beginning of our relationship, he thought that we weren't going to last very long due to his own personal issues. It kinda makes me wonder if that's the reason he didn't cut off Billy. On setting boundaries, OP says, Trust me, I have set my boundaries early on in the relationship and have reminded him of them. Yeah, but does he respect those boundaries? And OP says, to an extent he does. Mrs. People says, Oh honey, I'm so sorry. Please don't marry a person who is not in your corner. While you may not need to be defended, you do need to be respected. And if your fiancé doesn't care enough to defend you and end this racist crap, he doesn't deserve you. Not the asshole. OP replies, You worded this beautifully. Thank you so much. This whole situation has been weighing on my mind and heart heavily. The problem isn't the friend, it's your fiancé. The friend is an asshole, but your fiancé excuses it. Excusing it is the same as saying it himself. If his other friends are willing to ditch him just because he stands up against racism, then maybe they're not such great friends after all. It's time for your fiancé to surround himself with people who actually value him and his relationship with you. The dude's an asshole. New friends won't change that. Rather, I think there's a reason why nobody else wanted anything to do with him. Not the asshole. I'm black myself, and girl, you need to leave your partner. He excuses that behavior way too much. I'm white and I would dump him too if he tolerated a friend using that kind of language. There are two kinds of people. Racists and anti-racists. Anyone who thinks there's something in between is actually the former. Honestly, I think that commenter Alter Chronicles saying that dude's an asshole, new friends won't change that, there's a reason why nobody else wanted anything to do with him. I feel like that one's right on the money there. I feel like this guy is fundamentally flawed, and no matter where he goes, like will surround like. Maybe he's just been good at hiding that, maybe you're just not aware of it, or have been excusing it OP. There could be any number of reasons as to how you've come to this position with him. I think he values his friendships with these people from school above your marriage. Walk away. I think he's perfect in every other way for you, like a lot of people say, but there is one fatal flaw in your relationship, but otherwise, everything else is perfect. You've also let him stomp all over your boundaries. You set boundaries early on in the relationship, now you've had to remind him of said boundaries. And you say, well, he respects those boundaries to an extent. Any reasonable person would say, dump his ass. What are you doing here with the sunk cost fallacy? Like, it's okay to walk away from people. Especially in situations like this. He is not good for you. He is allowing racism. He is surrounding himself with racism. He is aiding and abetting racism. If that's not something you want in your life, you don't have to stay around and tolerate it. You can leave, and he can go find someone else that's racist like him. Problem solved. And now, onto the update. Thank you to everyone leaving their opinions in the comments. I greatly appreciate you guys taking a minute to say something. Now I'm just trying to think, how can I even bring these points up to him? The last couple times I tried, he got pretty defensive and exploded. Started ranting about who am I to tell him who he can be friends with, how everybody around him hasn't supported him, how he's done everything for himself, even though I, his family and friends, have done so much. He did apologize for blowing up on me though. Edit 2. Oh man, I'm recalling things he said to me when he blew up, and it's hitting me like a train. I wish I could put it all here, but it would be a completely separate post at this point. I will leave this here though. When meeting his dad's side of the family for the first time, it started off fine, but then his uncle started getting pretty racist, as well as the rest of his family. He cussed them out, corrected them, and then had us leave. I was in shock at how quickly it all progressed. His uncle is very against the N-word and racism, allegedly, but then became racist all of a sudden? In my fiance's rant, he said, "Why didn't you let me know I was doing the right thing? Most men would just let it happen and not stick up for their girl." I feel like I shouldn't have to let him know that he did the right thing. Standing up to a racist and shutting them down seems like common sense to me. It almost seemed like he wanted a pat on the back for it. Edit number 3, 6 months later. We finally did it as of last night, guys. My fiancé is now my ex. It's been a wild 2 years with him. We would have gotten married next month, actually. Just thought I'd let you all know. In the comments, Knitted Jedi says, massive kudos to OP for not buying into the sunk cost fallacy. Yes, I'm so proud of her. No matter how long it took, she broke it off, and she's not tied forever to that guy. I could write a laundry list of everything my dad did wrong in his marriage, but the one thing he did right was standing up for my mum when his family, South Asian, was being racist towards her, East Asian. Your priorities shift once you have a serious partner, and you can't be constantly looking for family and friends' approval the same way that you would when you're single. No, most men wouldn't just let it happen and not stick up for their partner. He needs to stop telling on himself. Guy does the bare minimum to be considered a decent human being and expects a trophy? Have you truly set boundaries if you let people stomp all over them? I don't think she understands how they work, that there are 2 parts. You set them, the other person respects them. She's like, well, I told him. See, I set a boundary. 21-year-olds should not be getting married. Goodness. When she said, to an extent, I was like, yeah, that's not how this works. But she dumped him, and so hopefully she'll learn from this experience. Yeah, those updates and edits were just an absolute dumpster fire that, I don't know. It's hard to see people going through these things and having to have partners that are supposed to love them say this directly to their face. Oh, I should have just let him be racist to you. Like, I don't see the problem. He's normally like that, and people don't normally stand up to racists. So what are you angry at me for? The lunacy of the situation is it's too much for me to handle. He was just self-reporting non-stop. Bro could not stop self-reporting how racist he was. He's like, I got angry at them and you didn't pat me on the back for it, saying, thank you so much for standing up to your racist family members. You know, I'd never expect that from a guy like you, but you really blew me away with that one, buddy. But yeah, again, I am so glad that she is out of this situation, and hopefully onwards and upwards from here. Anyway, guys, that's where I'm going to leave you today. I do hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, let me know what you thought of it in the comments down below. I hope you do have a good day, night's sleep, whatever you're up to, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.